Hello again. This one is recording for YouTube to be shared with the Limited Resources subreddit. We're going to do a Premier draft, then we're going to get some deck building advice, and then after the deck building advice we will record the match play, because I think, as well as my building, my play is not very good, but I'll probably stream that bit on Twitch as well, at twitch.tv/cardlinger. But to start, we'll just do the draft by recording and get some advice. So let's delve into another Premier draft. There we go. There's always one. Okay, so we get a Zenith Flare, pack one, pick one. So this guy's pretty cool for the black-white humans deck, obviously. The question is it worth being black-white human, or do we take the Zenith Flare knowing that Zenith is going to be a monster? There are some cycling ones in this deck. It's either him or that. The question is it? This does exile cyclers as well. And people now know about the Zenith deck. Choices, choices. Alright. We are going to probably cop flack for this immediately. But let's take the human and try and draft black-white humans. And at least there's not another Zenith Flare pack 1 pick 2. Night Squad Commando fits best in that deck. But if we'd have gone with Zenith Flare, we could have taken Reptilian Reflection next turn, but we wouldn't have seen any cycling 1. No Zenith Flare, but a number of ones. We could take Call of the Death Dweller here, or Memory Leak. Memory Leak's good because it cuts a cycling 1, and if someone is playing the Zenith Flare deck, we can take it off them. So let's take Memory Leak. Whisper Squad works nicely in the human deck. Over Draneth Healer. Or the Draneth Healer cuts a cycling 1. At the moment we're largely a black build. Those are the choices. Because we won't be cycling a card. We're going to take Whisper Squad and see if we can stack a few of those up. So there we start to run into trouble, as we do not have any humans in this pack. But again, no cycling 1s. We'll take Boot Nipper. That's just a fancy Liger. Another Whisper Squad, or the Perimeter Sergeant. This pack will wheel, so Whisper Squad may come back. We'll take Perimeter Sergeant. We won't take the Ultimatum. It's either Coordinated Charge or Serrated Scorpion. Serrated Scorpion doesn't really fit in our deck. Coordinated Charge doesn't massively either, though. And it's unlikely to fit in the deck if we get removal, so we'll take the Scorpion. We'll take another Scorpion here. Disappointing pack. Let's see what wheels. Farfinder, the Rock Slide, and a Glider. I think we'll just cut Rock Slide here. Over Farfinder? No, I mean, we'll take Farfinder, but again, it's probably not super close. We'll take Fangs here as a combat trick. We'll take the Springjaw Trap over Dark Bargain. We'll take the land in case we need Splash Blue, which is unlikely. We'll take this thwart. So we've not gotten off to a fantastic start. We've seen no bastions, we've seen no sanctuary, and few humans. So let's see if we do better in pack 2. The rare doesn't do anything for us. Pacifism is good. Blood Curdle is good. I like Blood Curdle over Pacifism because of the menace option, and we'll hope Primitive Sergeant wheels. But I think that's our pick. Blood Curdle, get some removal going. Maybe if we're lucky, Pacifism will wheel. So we've got Divine Arrow, sort of Lurking Deadeye is a bit of removal, that's probably the one. Yeah, we're going to take Lurking Deadeye. Man, lots of red. Lots of red. And we're in black-white, or at least black. We could switch to black-red, potentially. But we will press on. We've got a human. We'll take Whisper Squad and keep popping it up. We could pivot to black-red, although we should have taken Fire Prophecy then if that was the case. Another Night Squad Commando. We're really looking for a Bastion or a Sanctuary lockdown at the moment. Our deck is human heavy, but not... Well, good. Dire Tactics is glorious removal in our deck. So we've got a few removals coming in now. So we're going to take the Patagia Tiger here over the Scoured Barons, because we're only 2 colours at the moment, and the Patagia Tiger does give a bump to human and is an evasive creature. In this deck, we will take the Sonorous Hellbonder, who is a human, and with Blood Curdle, we may be able to get some menace going. He's unlikely to be cast on turn 3 as 1 black, more likely turn 4. But it's worth getting in. Let's see how our table's looking. Person to my right's got all the packs. So about halfway through the draft, we're alright for creatures, and we're starting to build some removal. But we need some payoff. And that really is Sanctuary, Lockdown and Bastion we're looking to see. I think here we probably take Spontaneous Flight over the Light of Hope. Now we're starting to get to dregs. We will take the Windscarred Crag and see how much removal wheels. In case we snag some Fire Prophecy or removal in red, Rumbling Rockslide or something. But our deck is currently a little shonky. So we'll take Divine Arrow for removal in combat. So we'll take the Rock Slide here, in case we need to splash it. We'll side it for now, but bear in mind that we can start to build some red removal if we want. And it means we can put Farfinder in the deck to find a mountain if we want. Unlikely aid here. Now we start to run into sideboard cards. Last 2 picks are to my left. We take Fumes, and there's our mountain. So not in our colour. We've got Blade Banish, another Patagia Tiger, or a Springjaw Trap, or a Blade Banish. But we'll take the Tiger for some more evasion. Shame none of the rares or uncommons were. So yeah, really could do with a Bastion and or a Sanctuary Lockdown to appear in this last pack, otherwise we're underpowered. So we've got a Triome in our colour. A Bushmeat Poacher for some life gain. But I think we'll take the Triome over Bushmeat Poacher. Checkpoint Officer here. Doesn't do too badly, although another Howlbonder is quite appealing too. But no, we need to tap down their creatures, so we'll take the checkpoint officer. So here we run into a disappointing bit of... We might take the Ozolith here in case some menace counters come back, but we're unlikely to run it. So disappointingly underpowered human deck here, I think. But the Zenith Flare deck, I've only seen one Stinger just then. Probably would have been equally poor. So here we can either have the Day Squad Marshal or the Night Squad Commando. What's our curve look like? We can afford the 4-drop here. So removal, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, effectively 5 pieces. We'll take another Deadeye here. So we may now take the bump card. We'll take another Whisper Squad. Do we take another Springjaw Trap? Over unlikely aid? I think we do. We'll take the trap. Now we'll take the Fangs. Now we find ourselves cut out of cards in our colour. We'll take the Dark Bargain, but we probably won't run it. We'll take the Shimmerer. And this is a disappointing deck. A Bastion or a Sanctuary Lockdown would have made a big difference to it. But we've got very little payoff. But we'll give it a blast. So let's cut Farfinder, because we're now unlikely to run the drop of red. And let's see what our build looks like. Nine cuts, 3 of them creatures. So we don't think the Ozolith is going to make a big difference. We'll cut the Bargain. The Shimmerer's not spectacular here. We'll cut the Fumes. So removal, we've got 2 Springjaw, an Arrow, Dire Tactics, a Curdle and 2 Deadeyes. We're still looking to cut a couple of creatures, I think. We'll cut the 2 Scorpions, because they're not... We don't ever weaponize the monsters, and they're not exactly in line with our deck. So we can cut one of the Fangs, I think. We'll keep the aid in. We've only got 3 5-drops, so we can actually afford to cut a land. I guess with them all being single pip, the question is the Triumph worth keeping? But I think it is. We want all our Whisper Squads. Do we want both of our Springjaw chaps? 1 trap, 1 arrow, 1 dire, 1 curdle, 2 Deadeyes. Do we want to remove Spontaneous Flight is the question. We've already got 2 flyers. Another flyer wouldn't hurt. Is that better or worse than charge? Curve's fine. So we want to get leak in case we can nab a flare. Right, I propose we'll cut a trap. There's our 40 card deck. With no payoff, we'll call it the unpaid human deck. And we'll share that with the limited resource subreddit. And we'll see how we do later on when I will stream as well. Thanks for watching, comments welcome.